We once again are going to talk about a big weekend that is coming to downtown Hannibal. First, we say good morning to Lisa Marks.
Good morning, Harold.
Good morning. And first, let's cover the basics. I mean, we have been talking. You and I have been talking about this since what, Memorial Day?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah, I think so.
But this has taken a hold. People are just fascinated with this festival that's coming to town.
I am amazed and delighted at the response that we've gotten so far. It's been very fun.
Yeah, so for those who've been under a rock for all summer and don't know about the Steampunk Festival coming to town, fill us in.
Well, the Big River Steampunk Festival will be happening this Saturday and Sunday, the 30th and 31st. Everybody, please pray for sunny skies and no rain so we can get that hot air balloon up in the air. Yes. It's really going to be a fun time. There are 18 free events. We have magicians and jugglers and comedians and all kinds of mayhem that will be free of charge on the Great Midway. We'll have vendor booths there where they'll be selling food and all different kinds of steampunk items, clothing, books, jewelry, all kinds of wonderful things. We have 8 premium events, which include the hot air balloon rides, a vaudeville show that will be at Finn's Foods and Spirits, and many other fun things. And what I'm understanding is that people from all around the region, even as far as Indiana, Pennsylvania, Ohio, are coming in costume. And they will be waltzing up and down Main Street, celebrating the Victorian era and the Industrial Revolution in our steampunk finery.
Yeah, if people are trying to wrap their brains about what that will mean in as far as the scenery in and around downtown Hannibal, I don't know whether you or Ken or somebody was talking about that. Kind of take a Renaissance fair and just kind of bring it forward about 300 years.
Yes.
And that's what you'll have.
Yes, exactly. Reenactments of different Victorian era things, like we're having a croquet tournament and a tea with Queen Victoria at the Dubach Inn.
Which is sold out.
It's sold out, yes. Yeah. And actually 4 of the 8 premium events are almost sold out. We are very close to selling out on things like we have a seminar for learning millinery, hat making. We've only got 4 spots left on that. We have a Midnight Ghost Adventure, and there's just a few spots left on that. So if anybody is interested in purchasing tickets to the premium events, we encourage you to go to the website. You can purchase your tickets online via PayPal. You can also call the History Museum or come by the History Museum, and we can sell tickets there as well.
All right. And as far as steampunk is concerned, I'm tired of trying to explain steampunk, and I'm sure you probably are too.
I've kind of wordsmithed it down to the best essence, I think. It is Victorian science fiction. Yes. It is a celebration of all things steam-related from the Industrial Revolution, the Gilded Age of America, and just the excitement that surrounded all of these real life-changing inventions, the telephone and the steam engine changed everything. Instead of hand plowing your fields, now you had an engine that you could actually plow, 10 times faster. Trains got you all across the country where before you would have had to go by horse. So it's just the excitement and the celebration of all these inventions and creations and the Gilded Age of America.
And what would have happened if we had taken steam power and the progression had gone toward things like computers and things of that nature.
Yes, if we were steam-powered instead of electric or diesel-powered. And I think the fun thing about that is it's just a reimagining of history. What if you did a left turn instead of a right turn at a certain point in history?
You bet. Now, you've talked about all of the different exhibits that you're going to have. There is one that is going to be particularly neat, and which leads us, you go ahead and introduce the gentleman you have brought with you this morning.
Yes, with me today is Frank Elmore. He has come to Hannibal all the way from Los Angeles, California. He's been in video, TV, film for years and years, and he's going to be hosting a seminar at the Hannibal History Museum on 3D stereo views. The kids today go and see these 3D movies. They don't realize that 3D's been around for about 160 years now. So it's not a new invention, and so Frank is an expert on the history of 3D.
Sure. Frank Elmore, good morning to you.
Morning.
Yeah, so first of all, talk about what you bring to the table, your expertise in the matters of 3D.
Well, I have been fooling around with 3D for, 30 years or so. Way back when I was in New York City as an actor. And I was just fascinated with the stereo views because they were like time machines. You look at these stereopticon pictures, if you've ever seen them, and they're beautiful photographs, and there's a depth to them. You're on the street again. So I was fascinated with that and eventually worked it over into video. And
Yeah,
30 years later,
in my generation, you talk about those pictures. In my generation, it would be what everybody remembers, the Viewmaster.
Viewmasters, exactly, which was the natural progression out of the stereopticon. At the turn of the century, at the time of the Industrial Revolution, 3D photography was the way it was done. You had 2D, but everybody had those viewers, and that was the way everything was taken at the time. Now it's come back. After all these many decades, now 3D is once again a hot topic.
Oh, yes.
You know, for me, that was great because I've been working on it pretty much alone. I didn't know anybody else that did it. So I've been experimenting with that. I've been shooting some 3D projects that will play on a 3D television. And so when I talked to Lisa about what she was doing, I said, oh my God, this is a 3D festival. This is going to be so many ins and outs and costumes and balloons and riverboats. I said, I've got to come and shoot this thing. So we're going to be, I'll be talking about 3D and stereopticons, but I'll also be shooting 3D at the Steampunk Festival over the weekend. And we may even end up with a DVD out of that. But it's going to be fun. We've got bagpipes. We've got, the fire jugglers. I mean, it really is a 3D video dream. I can't wait.
So you're going to be working your way around the festival?
Oh, yeah. You'll see a guy, with a strange camera walking around poking in your face. Feel free to reach out because it's 3D.
That's right. Yeah,
and the 3D really ties into Hannibal. One of the things that we were delighted to get from Steve Chow, our local historian, he donated to our museum his archive, and there were many, many stereo views taken from 1870 through the turn of the century here in Hannibal. One of Teddy Roosevelt, the president, giving a speech right in downtown Hannibal.
And Teddy's going to be at the Steampunk.
Teddy Roosevelt will be represented.
Yes.
But if people come to the Hannibal History Museum, we actually have a stereo viewer and the stereo cards of Hannibal from before the turn of the century that they can view themselves.
And while I'm here, I'm going to go through those because I met Steve the other day. He gave us some props to use and see what it is. And I may do Hannibal then and now in 3D, which we would put into a disc that would be two-dimensional and three-dimensional for people. So this is all experimental stuff. Sure. But it was a hot topic back about 1900. It was the way things were done. It was cutting edge.
Now, while I've got you here, and we've got a couple of minutes, of course, when it comes to 3D movies, I mean, we had them in the 50s, and then they went away for a long, long time. And here in the last 10 years or so, maybe not even that long, they've come back, and now basically everything, all of the movies, more or less, are 3D. What changed? How did the technology progress, or what brought on the resurgence of the 3D movie?
Well, I think you have to give full credit to James Cameron with Avatar. He said, it's coming, I'm going to do it, I'm going to do it well, but it's going to take me 7 years. At that same time, I was starting in my own little film noir 3D movie. It took me 7 years, but he had a few thousand more people helping him.
Yeah,
and a few million more dollars.
Yeah, but by the time mine was done, his was done, and he's making $1 billion. The interest went through the roof as far as 3D goes. And like you said, almost every TV that comes out right now is 3D. They may not tell you that, but it's 3D capable. So as this progresses from the big feature films to laptop television, or your television in your living room, then there's going to be a lot more independent productions like I'm doing. 3D documentaries, 3D comedy plays, smaller things, not the big tentpole that they call the big 3D productions right now. But I would say something like 8 out of 10 of the top 10 movies in the last 2 years have been three-dimensional. Gravity especially. And Gravity was another game changer because it was starting to go a little soft, and suddenly here's this incredible movie that would not be anything like itself if it weren't 3D.
Exactly.
So I'm excited because,
Don't you also think that everything is so visual? Everything is on a screen. Computers and cell phones, everybody's looking at screens all day long, all the time. And the more visual they are, the more interest they are, the more the technology just keeps upping the ante, And I think 3D is going to get to the point at some point where it's just like today where we take snapshots with our camera phone. It'll be a 3D camera phone. I think eventually it will progress to the point where it's a household tool just like everything else is.
There's quite a bit of 3D television now on YouTube. I even got my own channel with there. And here's the fun part about steampunk is that you can watch it on any laptop, any television, because you go back and use those old red and blue glasses from the 50s. You put those on and magically turns your TV into 3D.
There you go.
I mean, but it's done better than it was before. That's mainly to your question. It's the precision that we can do 3D now. It's not eye hurting. It's not out of alignment. The cameras we use and the techniques we use now are very precise. And it's more like real life in that respect. I mean, real life is three-dimensional.
There you go.
So if you want to learn more, come to the Hannibal History Museum and see Frank in his seminar. That'll be Saturday at 1 o'clock at the History Museum. He'll tell you more about 3D.
And wear a costume, and you'll be in a movie.
There you go. It's your big chance. Anybody wants to be a star,
This is it.
Frank can help you out. Yeah. If folks want more information about the Steampunk Festival, how can they get that?
The website is the best conduit for that. It is Big River Steampunk, which is spelled STEAMPUNK, Festival, all one word, .com. They can also go to the Hannibal History Museum, 200 North Main. We're open 10 to 7 every day, or they can call us at 573-248-1819.
That's the way to find out what's going on with the Big River Steampunk Festival coming up Saturday and Sunday to downtown Hannibal. And Lisa Marks, Frank Elmore, we appreciate the visit.
Thank you.
It's been fun.
Going to be a big weekend in Hannibal.